this Fat Joe thing is probably the best advertisement for FBA because no one knew who FBA was just 3 weeks ago. Now everybody's, I'm FBA, and got Crips talking about their FBA, and like, you like, what do you, I had people in my Crips in my comments. I had Cuban Link in my comments, and I verified that it was the real Cuban Link, and I'm going to do a separate show on my reaction to Cuban Links. Shout out to Cuban Link. Don't know much about his music, but I do know he was down with the Terror Squad, and he has an interesting story. But he wasn't too excited about me siding with Fat Joe. And then he started discussing other things about Fat Joe's business motives and business past dealings and things. Look, bro, I don't know anything about any of that. I don't know anything about that, Cuban Link. Just because I agree with a man on one certain topic doesn't mean I agree with them on everything. That would be very weird, right? I don't agree with anybody about everything. Like, I know people who are damn near my twin, and we still have differences. I don't, you know what I mean? So I don't, just because I agree with Fat Joe that Latinos and blacks contributed to hip hop doesn't mean I agree with what Fat Joe may or may not have done with Big Pun's estate and any other thing like that. That's not my bag. That's above my pay grade. But I do appreciate you checking in, Cuban Link. You're definitely doing your thing on your social media and your podcasts and your YouTube thing that you have going on there. Definitely seen your name popping up. And I appreciate you checking in the comments. I might as well go into them now. Shit, while I'm talking about it, right? Let's see. All right. So Cuban Links, this is the original Cuban. This isn't the first time he's been in my comments. It seems like every time I react to this Fat Joe situation, he's honest. I don't know if he's a subscriber. I don't know if he is, or he just gets the notification whenever I pop up, but he's been in my comment section quite frequently. And this is the original Cuban Links, 24K on YouTube. He says, just 2 hours ago, you say you don't want FBA representing you, but yet you let Fat Joe represent you and the Latino community as a spokesman. And you probably sided with Fat Joe when he let Pun's family go to the shelter after robbing Pun's estate, huh? SMH. So I replied to Cuban Link, I don't want any group or organization representing me, actually. I represent me. I left it at that. And the conversation continues. For some reason, these YouTube comments are weird. Let me see if I can get it from my phone. It would be better, actually. I don't like how YouTube does that. Hold on. Where's my phone? Hold on. All right. It's easier to read the comments on my phone because I want to reply respectfully to Cuban Link. So I'm going to take it back. He says, you say you don't want FBA representing you, but you let Fat Joe represent you and the Latino community as a spokesman. And you probably sided with Fat Joe when he let Pun's family go to the shelter after robbing Pun's estate, huh? SMH. And my reply to Cuban Link was, I don't want any group or organization representing me, actually. I represent me. And that is the truth. Don't lump me into your group. Because I may not agree with I know I don't agree with 100% of what you guys say. Like, don't lump me into the FBA. Because I know there are a lot of things based on what I've read that I disagree with them about. There are some I agree with them on, and there's some I disagree with them about. I'm still learning about this group. You call it a lineage, whatever it's called. I'm going to call it a group until I know more. Group, organization. I mean, they tried to, every time I went to their website, and they're trying to sell me hats, beanies, and flags. That sounds like an organization, a group, something to me. So I'm going to lump them in there with the Black Lives Matter and things like that. Respectfully. But I don't include me in any of your groups. I don't want to be in your group. I represent myself. When I walk out there, when I walk out on the streets, ain't nobody being like, hey, there's that group right there. No, there's Dusty Vision, and how is he gonna act? How is he gonna represent himself? So don't let me in no group. He replied back, understood. But Joe's been no good in our neck of the woods, so you should do your homework and find out all you could, because I assure you he's selling you that oil that's fake and disloyal, a snake in a coil. Thank you for the rhyme. Thank you for the rhyme, Cuban Link. I replied back. It sounds like Cuban Link and Fat Joe may have some past dealings in business that they both didn't agree on, right? Is it safe to say from reading this? And I respect that, but that's not my fight. I'm not in this. So I replied back with, you know more about his business dealings than I do. Just because I agree with a man on one issue doesn't mean I agree with them on everything. And that's where we left it. He has not replied back. This was about an hour ago that I replied, so he'll probably get back to me. I'm sure he's a busy man. You know, covering all this Fat Joe stuff keep your calendar booked. You know what I mean? Fat Joe may turn the internet on fire, and he knew what he was doing. I remember watching that clip. I support Matt Hoffa. He's one of my favorite people to watch. And as soon as that clip was released, it said like 8 minutes on the thing. It said released 8 minutes ago, and it had like 1,000 views or whatever in those first 10 minutes or whatever. But I remember hearing that as soon as Fat Joe said that, and I was like, oh shit, the internet's about to be on fire. Fat Joe knows what he's doing, and he probably just sold a bunch more streams. But sorry, going back to Cuban Link. Look, I don't know about his relation to Pun's estate. I don't know about his business dealings with you, but respectfully, that's not my fight. And once again, just because I agree with someone on one thing doesn't mean that I agree on what they may or may not have done. I don't know so I'm going to say may or may not. But I do appreciate you checking in, man. I definitely do appreciate you. I appreciate your story. When it comes to hip-hop, I know you have an amazing story just with life and what you've seen in the industry. So much respect to you, Cuban Link. And I appreciate you tapping in. And I appreciate all you tapping in out there as well.